All right, so leave it up to Hip Mo Lottie with the body, Marceau, to finally have Martell out here looking crazy. We didn't have any of Tisha and Kimmy Dumb and Dumber on this episode. Lucy Goosey, aka Destiny from Detroit, was denying ever giving that cat up to Lance because she want to fuck with Twan. Exactly. So the jury is still out on whether or not Destiny gave up a half a pound of African Nigerian cat. It's probably Zimbabwean. I'm not sure. But we finna talk about Love and Marriage Huntsville real quick, friend. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you like the video. Sorry I didn't give y'all this earlier, but the show was a dud to me. It was a dud. It was a dud. Exactly. Tomorrow on lunch, we'll talk about Heart and Hustle because I feel like Heart and Hustle was the much better show. Exactly. I love the scene with Chloe, Shaniqua, Ro. I love all of the girlies. You know what I'm saying? So we'll talk about that tomorrow. So make sure you subscribe. Get you a little cocktail. I know it's Sunday. I ain't got nothing in my. I ain't got a damn thing. Exactly. I'm finna go give me some dinner. Exactly, with good deed. So let's talk about Love and Marriage Huntsville real quick. Because it wasn't a lot that was really going on. I'm sorry, y'all. I got 1 foot out the door. Like, I'm literally 1 foot out the door with Love and Marriage Huntsville. The storylines are tired. But we gonna talk about it. Okay. So Destiny sits down with Lance. He tells her about his baby mama, you know, and I told y'all about the baby mama. I'm not going to speak on her because she asked me not to. But I did find out that she been messing with Lance for a long time, so it wasn't like no big secret. She said that she's not a deadbeat. She's still currently in the baby's lives and all of these things. You know what I'm saying? So whatever storyline we seeing on this show is trash, according to the baby mama. That's what she had told me. So Destiny is like, why didn't you tell me before you posted on your page? Now, Lance, it's very convoluted with Lance and Destiny. Now, if he hadn't had sex with Destiny, I don't feel like he owed Destiny nothing. But it's given, I'm on the side of Miss Nail. I feel like she gave him a quarter pound of cat. I feel like Destiny gave him a quarter pound of cat. Exactly. Now, if she gave you a quarter pound of coochie, then she deserves an answer. You should have told her that you had a whole nother girl pregnant. What are we talking about? Exactly. So they go back and forth with that. Lance was giving slight fuckboy activity, talking about, I didn't lie to you, I just didn't tell you. And Destiny was like, omission is the same thing as lying. I hate when a man do shit like that. Because, bitch, if you omit information, if I didn't tell you that my baby daddy was staying at my house with me, you'll be mad, wouldn't you? I'm glad Destiny clocked him. I didn't like Lance after this situation with Destiny. And we know I don't like desperate Destiny from Detroit. But I really didn't like Lance after him sitting down with her. It was giving fuckboy activities. So then Destiny tells him about Twan. And Lance, so we find out that Lance hired Twan to be her bodyguard and for security. Now, that's some trifling ass shit, bitch. Not the dude you talking to hire somebody to be your security and then you decide to fuck with him. Mind you, in retrospect, this man got a whole baby on the way, but at the time you didn't know he had a baby on the way. So you was trifling in that moment, but you was vindicated because you found out that he had a baby on the way. So I'm kind of, I don't know. Tell me how y'all feel about that. Because I feel like if Lance didn't have a baby on the way, Destiny was trifling because this literally somebody you talk to that hires somebody to help you and then you gonna flirt with him? Bitch, you a little trifling, ain't you? To me, that's a respect thing. And I'm big on respect. I might talk a lot of shit, but I'm big on respect. But then again, what we gonna find out with Destiny is like, you had a whole baby on the way. So I'm glad I did. I'm glad I did talk to Twan, because Twan is fine. Twan got a tad bit of fineness in him. Just a tad bit of fineness in him, exactly. Okay, so we get Destiny and Lance. Then we get this whole boys, males interaction trip, da 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 da. So Lanster, Kenner, Wilder, Martell, Marceau, Maurice, all of the bald head hoes from Huntsville, the usual suspects. I wish Marquez would start to give it a little razzle dazzle. I just feel like Marquez would have gave this scene a little extra razzle dazzle. Exactly. Anyway, child, so what we talk about, okay, so Marceau comes in and he daps up Martell. First of all, this is why I feel like the Scotts are guilty. Y'all act guilty because a nigga that came, that then did a whole interview with an alleged side chick, and if they didn't know who this girl was, and Martell just pulled the Harry Hines girl out of the blue, there is no way that you're gonna walk into a room and dap this man up. That's why I feel like it's some truth to that interview, because y'all still keeping it cordial and cute with Martell. You know what I'm saying? And then Martell was like, oh, he just came in trying to be cute. Nigga, after you did all of that. But I guess. Okay. So then they started talking about Ken and Trish a little bit. Ken is talking about how even if she gets married, she's going through therapy, but her anger, her temper, all of that, he don't know if she's worked on that enough. I'm sick of hearing about it. I'm a thou wow %. We've been talking about Ken and Trish since 2 seasons ago. I'm sorry, Ken, if you want to be a trick and a sugar daddy, just say that. If you want to be a trick, just say that. And we'll just shut the fuck up. Because I just don't think that Ken is that stupid. But Ken was talking about, hey, I invested so much in this, so this is where I'm at with it. I get it, because I feel like a lot of girls are like that. Because they invested like years and time with a man and argue back and forth with the other girls and the baby mamas. They so invested in winning. It's not even about the relationship anymore. I feel like people be so invested in winning. You just want to win. You just want to make sure Marquez don't win over you, or the people don't win when they said you was stupid, and you want to prove your point. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that's what happens a lot. And I feel like that's kind of the situation with Ken and Marquez. If I'm Will, I would have been tapped out on Ken. Ken is giving Rashida. I'm just going to let you be, bitch. I don't give a fuck if Trish knock your damn head up against the washer and dryer at home and hit Marquez in the house. Like, I don't care what happened. Anyway, so they talk about that in a Chris Fletcher thing. Then, of course, they eventually get to the Martell, Marceau, and all of the things. Now, Marceau play a lot. You play a lot of games. You play a lot of games, Fred. Marceau play a lot of games. He like, I want some coleslaw. I want to be back in the back of the car. I want some coleslaw on my hot dog. First of all, coleslaw on your hot dog go crazy. Not coleslaw on your hot dog. I was like, the sexual connotation of it all. Martell face got straight, because at first he was snickling and giggling and his face fix that face, fix that nose. Exactly. That was crazy. So Marceau's stupid. That's what we do know. Exactly. Him and his hips and lost their damn mind. But it shut Martell up. So then they started talking about everything that happened. He was like, yeah. So they actually went back to the scope of it all. So he was like, yeah, we started a business because Marceau was working at the movie theater. We all know that. Marceau like, no, I had $1 million business. I had mansions and shit. You know, I had properties. You know, I was in Forbes, and I just so happened to go to the movie theater. And Chris Fletcher was like, no, ho. No, ho. Ain't no way. He was like, shit don't add up. 1 + 1 don't equal 4. I don't give a fuck what you talking about. And I was right there with Chris Fletcher, because bitch, if you had all of these properties and multi-million-dollar complexes, ain't no way you going to serve popcorn at AMC. There's no way I'm seeing Marceau with an AMC outfit on talking about, can I check your ticket? Can I check your ticket? There's no way that a multimillionaire or a band with multiple properties like that is out here stamping tickets and, hey, do you want extra butter on your popcorn? You're not asking me if I want extra butter on my popcorn. So I'm right here with Chris Fletcher. He was like, you full of shit whenever you get done. But they talk about the scold and how eventually Scope got brought out. Maurice was trying to push the narrative that Martell is mad that Scope got bought out. And now Holt is no longer a part of Scope. Marceau said, so I think Marceau was a lying-ass big hip bitch. A lying-ass BBL bitch in this moment. Marceau, you was wrong. And I think you was a lying-ass bitch. You definitely a LAB. Or a BHAB, a big hip ass bitch. Okay, that's what Marceau is. But on the other hand, Marceau mentions Martell always thought that he was better than me. And he got mad because after he left Mel, and Mel was like dissolved. When they was going through them businesses, and Mel was like dissolved. After Mel cut his ass off and Martell reverted to the broke ass bitch that he is, Marlene's son. That's when Marceau was like, now you jealous because the Scots have came up. You're not the king of this shit no more. The Scots have came up and you always thought you were better than me, so now you mad. Now Marceau ate that because I firmly believe that. Martell, you're mad because you thought you were here. You thought you were the better father, the better husband. You only had one girlfriend, Dandruff. They had multiple bitches they was cheating with, da-da-da-da-da. But you're mad that Mel left your ass. Their wives stayed with them. And now they are the forefront of the show. Carlos King pushed them to the front. And they pushed your ass on the back burner because without Mel, you're trash. You're just a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. So it's two things can be true. Martell was right about the whole, hey, he helped him from becoming a ticket holder at AMC theaters, the manager of, the aisles at the movie theater. But I do believe Marceau is right. Martell is jealous at the fact that he thought he was the better man, but you lost everything, and Marceau is still thriving. Maurice is still... Peep-Pop Maurice tried to act like he tried to remove himself from the drama and act like he was the mediator in it all. How are you a fucking mediator when he said that you was hitting Harry Hines bitches from the back too? Kimmy, you a stupid bitch. You a different type of stupid bitch. You a 100 stupid type of bitch with a support dog. Exactly. Because Peep-Pop Maurice in this whole situation was trying to act like he the innocent third party. Like, I'm just trying to make sure shit is okay. No, ho, he was talking about your whole ass too. Girl, fuck Maurice. Anyway, so then we get like the little situation where Martell started asking him about how they know Orion. First of all, she's a slut from the 90s. She is a slut from the 90s. Everybody know that hoe with the dandruff and the split ends from TikTok. Oh, bitch from TikTok. Girl, please. Anyway, so Kim was like, I don't know this bitch. I never met this bitch. I never fucked with this bitch. Will kind of said the same thing, but then towards the end, Will kind of doubled back and was like, oh, I met her at the gym and she came over. I was doing personal training and then she came to my house. Now, he was playing. I thought that was real. Carlos King, that should have been real because we don't have enough storyline to keep me going. We don't have enough kombucha to keep me going with Love and Marriage Huntsville. I'm sorry. Love and Marriage Huntsville is tired. I'm sick of talking about Marceau cheating. I'm sick of talking about Ken and Trish. Ain't no new shit popping. Ain't no big shit popping and little shit stopping. Nothing is popping. I guess, friend. So, Martell was like, yeah, Marceau was talking about Orion, but when I text him, he said he might have been mistaken because Marceau was him and Tisha was insinuating that Orion was out on the street, sucking dick in the alley, yada, yada, yada. It kind of fell flat. They kind of went back and forth. What I didn't like is the editing because it seems like they said a lot of shit, but in the editing back and forth, we heard Maurice's voiceover. about how we ain't gonna get nowhere, but we didn't really hear what the fuck they were saying. I wanted to hear the low down dirty details of what the fuck was going on. Because Martell still doubled down and was like, yeah, I talked about the girl that you cheated on your wife. He was like, I interviewed the girl that you cheated on your wife with. And Marceau said, how did that go for you? Marceau never said that I didn't cheat on my wife with that girl. I didn't know that girl. Mind you, notice that, friend. Peep that. When Martell said, I interviewed the girl that you cheated on your wife with, Marceau never said, I didn't cheat on my wife with her. Marceau never said, I don't know that bitch. I don't fuck with that bitch. Marceau said, how did that go? How did that work out for you? Tisha, you stupid. You stupid as a motherfucker. And Kimmy, you stupid to let Maurice sit there like past the sideburns. Like he is far removed from this situation when we heard that you was right there hitting her from the back while Marceau was hitting her from the front, allegedly. Ooh, the Scott sisters are the dumbest bitches I ever met in my life. Anyway, what else had happened? We get Destiny and Neil. They sit down and talk about the whole Lance thing. We also got a scene with Lance Twan. Twan is tall and fine. He looked like a Tyrannosaurus Rex, but he's tall and fine and buff. So the whole situation with them, which I'm tired of this situation too. I'm sick of this situation. First of all, if Destiny never had sex with Lance, why are we dragging this out? Who cares? It's just giving me and a random dude talk. If we ain't never had sex, we never solidified this thing. So when Nell sits down with Destiny, she's convinced that Destiny did have sex with Lance because she said she know her son. Tell me, do y'all think Destiny gave up a quarter pound of Nigerian Zimbabwean / cat to Lance? Because Lance is giving me Cookie Monster. He had a lot of babies and he does a lot of things. Destiny don't seem like, I don't know. I'm not going to speak on this girl, Cootie Cat. The moral of the story is, Destiny is like, well, you mad at me for snickling and giggling in this man's face. Destiny is saying she never knew that Twan was Lance's god brother. If that's the case, then that's Twan's fault. Why didn't Twan tell you that he Lance's god brother if Twan knew that you was fucking with Lance? It's given Twan is the bad guy in this situation. And I follow Twan on Instagram. So Twan, I hope you still want to, come talk to your girl. Exactly. But at the end of the day, you are the one who knew that Lance talked to Destiny and you knew she was flirting with you. And I'm still on Miss Nell's side because, bitch, you still disrespected me. If you cool with me and I know you talk to my son, and you flirting with my godson in my face, then, bitch, I got a problem with your hoe ass. I'm sorry. Now, Destiny did eat her up when she was like, you worried about me giving googly eyes and your son was having babies. Now, Destiny ate a little bit. The dirty bitch from Detroit, she ate a little bit. She ate down. Because, bitch, how you gonna get mad at me for just flirting with somebody when your son was having kids? And I'm sorry, Miss Neal, it seems like you might be a lying ass bitch too, because didn't you tell Tisha, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, didn't she tell Tisha that they left LA because the girl was going in labor? Now, whether the girl had the baby or not, you still said that you left LA because the girl was in labor, right? So now y'all taking it back, and what's the tea? What's the reason y'all left LA? Because Lance said that wasn't the reason they left LA. But didn't you tell Tisha that? I am so confused, friend. I don't know. So Destiny kind of ate down and was like, oh yeah, I was flirting with your son, was out here having babies. Lance also told us that Miss Nell and them never knew that he had a baby on the way. He said, I never wanted to tell you because I wasn't sure if it was my baby. So, Lance, you kind of trifling because why are you having unprotected sex with a girl and you don't know if that's your baby? You know what I'm saying? What are y'all doing down there in Huntsville? It's giving whore Huntsville. Huntsville full of whores. I don't know. Anyway, so Nell and Destiny had a little back and forth. She also told Lance that, hey, if Twine want to take me out on a date, I'ma do it. Miss Neil already tell Twine and Lance low-key tell them, like, hey, we don't want you to fuck with Destiny, but we ain't gonna cause no hell if you do. And Twine is giving, well, Destiny is fine. She kind of fine. She built like a refrigerator with square and no hips, but she kind of fine. Exactly. Now, Destiny do have a pretty ass face, but anyway. I'm gonna keep it cute today. So Nell and Destiny kind of end up coming to some sort of resolution. Destiny is telling her, hey, you hurt my feelings when you said you don't know me like that. I mean, if you lying about your age to me and you fucking with my son and you trying to fuck with my godson, it's kind of giving you want to get ran through by my family. I'm sorry. I feel the same way. If you start talking to my brother, let's say for instance, and I'm just gonna put it in like my situation. If you start fucking with one of my brothers, and then I find out that didn't work, which anytime a girl, and trust me, my brothers didn't talk to a lot of my friends. I'm gonna give you a disclaimer before you start talking to them, friend. But if you talk to them at your own risk, and then I find out a month later you flirting with our cousin or our god brother or something in my face, I'm gonna go ahead and call you out. And bitch, you disrespected me because I could clock your ass. I could fucking slam your head into the wall. Now that's on a bad day, I can slam your head into the wall because bitch, what are you doing? Do you want to get ran through by my family? If you want to get ran through by my family, just say that. If you want a feature, just say that, friend. And I'll let you get ran through. But I thought you were a better woman than that. If I'm friends with you, I thought you were a better quality of woman than that. Like, so handle your shit properly. I don't know. I'm on Miss Neil's side. I feel like there's some disrespectful shit. But then I'm kind of on Destiny's side because on one hand, Destiny didn't know. When Destiny was flirting with Twine, she didn't know that Lance had a baby on the way. But if I'm Destiny and I'm talking to you and I'm flirting with your fine ass bodyguard, but then I find out that you had a baby on the way, then that's what you get. That's the fuck you get. And I will ride his face into the sun. But I digress. I digress. I don't know. Tell me, do y'all think Destiny was wrong or do y'all think Neil was wrong? Tell me, do y'all think Destiny gave Lance a eighth of cat, just an eighth, not even a quarter pound, just a little eighth of cat? You know what I'm saying? I think something happened sexual there. I'm a side with Miss Neil because you know your woman's intuition. And for him to say he had feelings for her and all this, something is giving sketchy. Something is giving sketchy with that whole situation. But whatever. What else happened? That was pretty much the end of the episode. You know what I'm saying? Well, did I miss anything? On the next episode, we're going to find out that Trish and Ken, they having problems and they kind of broke up. But in present day, just yesterday or maybe this morning, Ken and Trish was together. I told you they was together at Stormy Party this weekend. Ken was going off on some lady in the comments on Facebook. The lady said something about Ken being stupid and stuff. And Ken went in on the lady, talking about how she was fat, ugly, all of the things. So the fact that we seeing them going through this little breakup is neither here nor there because we know on Facebook present day y'all are together. Exactly. Destiny, I guess you gonna run through the crew. She said she never fucked with Jalen. I mean, you talk to him. I understand dating is different from having bodies because she was like, Miss Neil, don't be putting no bodies on me. And I get that because I come and tell y'all about all these dudes I talk to. I don't be giving these boys no, I ain't giving no, I'm not giving you none of this. Exactly. But I'm sick of the Lance storyline. The Lance storyline is done. Unless we're going to see Destiny dating Twine. We know she's going to go out with Will. I wish Will would have talked to Coleslaw. At least it would have gave us some other type of storyline. We gonna see Martell copping pleas with Marceau. Because Marceau like, I'm not fucking with you walking or riding. Kimmy and Tisha, y'all should still feel stupid. Because at the end of the day, Marceau and Maurice are not definitively denying the interview with the Harry Hines girl. So it's safe to say that that's true. That's it. We have nothing new on Love and Marriage Huntsville. Love and Marriage Huntsville is a wash to me. It is a wash. Name a new storyline. Ken and Trish ain't no new storyline. I thought maybe we would get something different with Will and Twine. I mean, Destiny talking to them. The Lance. I don't know. I'm 1 foot out the door. I'm tapped out. I enjoyed Heart and Hustle way more with Chloe and the new girl Shaniqua versus Ro. So yeah, either later on tonight or tomorrow during my lunch break, I'll give y'all the Heart and Hustle review or whatever. That's much better. Tell me what y'all thought about Love and Marriage Huntsville. I actually enjoyed talking about Mel and Martell and all of their drama. That was more salacious than the whole episode of Love and Marriage Huntsville. It was trash. Did y'all miss Kimmy and Tisha this episode? I'm sorry. Hang it up, flat screen. I'm over it. Anyway, I love y'all. Make sure y'all comment. Make sure y'all like. Make sure y'all subscribe. I'll talk to y'all later on today or tomorrow about Heart and Hustle. We're going to talk about Young Thug and Mariah the Scientist. Oh my God. Not my girlie. Exactly the way I love Mariah the Scientist's music. And she just... Mariah the Scientist is a Scorpio and she gives like pure love. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was this hard girl, but now I have pure love in my life. And the way that this girl sat through this man trial and all of these things just for him to break her heart like this, like my heart breaks for Mariah the Scientist. I'm gonna have to go buy some of her merch. If she got some merch, I'm gonna have to do something to support my Scorpio girlie. Because not this pretty ass girl let this fucking anteater break her damn heart. Girl, fuck him and what he stand for. Anyway, we also gonna talk about some Real Housewives of Atlanta tea, because there's some stuff going on. And Clarissa out here rapping. She want to be Remy so bad. But that's another story for a different day. I love y'all. Love y'all. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you like this video. I'll talk to you later, friend. Bye.